Hey guys, me again. This week or this video, I'm gonna leave Connor and Gemma alone because apparently I'm always at them, and you know these things have to stop. So what I'm gonna talk about this week or this video, sorry, is Alan Kelly and his brother Declan. Now, Declan appeared on the Late Late Show recently, talking about ending world poverty. Him and his rich friends, of course, as we all know, he owns Teneo, who sponsors the Tipperary hurling team, and he is a big endorser of the Clintons. He more or less ran their campaign at one point for them. He also represents and has representing for him a lot of ex-politicians, ex-sports stars, and for the consultancy company he runs, these are big people, big people. So he's going to end this world hunger or this world poverty thing with this uh, global something or other concert. It's like Live Aid and or Live 8 and Live 8 before that. Now, we all know Bob Geldof more or less financed a genocide in an African country when he handed the millions over to an African dictator, knowing full well what was going to happen with that money, and he still did it. But with this, I mean, with Live 8, I don't know where the money went, to be honest. I mean, nothing really ever come out about that. As regards this is a private company having a concert to make, I don't know how many Coldplay are involved in it, and he probably represents one of them too. And when you've someone like Teneo doing a gig like this and not being, there's strings attached to wherever that money is going. Plus, if Declan Kelly is such a patriot, such an Irish person, why is he not able to buy up a building, fix it up, and house the people that are homeless, the families that are homeless in this country? It's all well and good sponsoring a hurling team. That's not going to do anything for anyone. It's all well and good telling us you're going to end world poverty when you can't even help the 10,000 people, including 6,700 children who are homeless in this country. It makes no sense. You're willing to spend your cash elsewhere, but you claim that you are Irish, and being as your brother is a TD, ex-Minister for State, ex-Minister for the Environment, you can't even so much as dip your hand in a very deep pocket to help people who are in need in this country, but you and your money-loving mates have no problem wanting to end poverty everywhere else. So let's get to the Alan side of things. The man who has no problem going to the Dáil, but seems to have a very big problem voting on things in the Dáil, which I thought was why people voted for the guy, if they did at all, and his seat wasn't bought for him. But as well as that, not voting on anything, declaring a lot more expenses than he should be allowed to have. He is also he was also one of a handful of TDs that refused, that voted against a bill to have all TDs publicly declare their income, their expenses, and everything else. He was one of the people who refused to do that. Personally, I'm not surprised by that. Why should he? He 100% should, but you know, if he's got something to hide, well, he's not going to vote for that now, is he? So, you know, I guess there's only so much funds you can run through stuff. So, anyway, I'm not doing things in chronological order, I believe. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But he also gave himself the moniker Minister for Homelessness. That was self-imposed, that name. He decided after a man had died outside the Dáil, he was going to be the one to end homelessness in Ireland. This is long before Owen Murphy and his Taoiseach had decided the homelessness was an epidemic. The previous term, Alan was going to end homelessness himself. Once that man had died outside the Dáil, or 100 yards from the Dáil, he and his fellow TDs all decided they were going to spend the night outside in solidarity with the homeless. Wow, that's brilliant. So he was in front of the cameras, he was going to do this, he was going to do that, and the very minute a homeless man died on the streets of Nenagh, on a bench, in what was some severely cold weather, Alan dropped the name, the title, and everything else, and never spoke of homelessness again, never took questions on it, and never made statements on it. In fact, it was like he never had the name to begin with. So that's all that took, was a man dying on the streets of Nenagh, to have him stop any foray into helping what would have been less than 10,000 people homeless at the time. And we now have nearly 11,000 people homeless, and over 6,700 of those children in emergency accommodation or out in the street. And the fact is, we could have more homeless because it is now so hard to document yourself or register and declare yourself as homeless in Ireland. So there's that. Yeah, he's jumped on the bandwagon for the University Hospital Limerick trolley figures. Now, that is the worst hospital in Ireland for hospital figure, or for trolley figures. This was a man who was going to save Nenagh Hospital. He was going to save Nenagh Hospital's A&E. He declared the last week it was going to be in action. Him and his friends were going to be outside every night, outside that hospital. Up to, I believe, 9 or 10 o'clock at night, protesting. Now, the thing is, Alan, while he did stand outside the hospital, he never protested outside the hospital with any of his supporters. The fact is, he came, he saw, and he left. How do I know this? Well, let's just say I caught him doing it twice. The 2 times he showed up, he got his picture, he got into a local candidate, Labour candidate's car, who was, I believe, a mayor at the time, and he left. And he wasn't seen for the rest of the night outside the hospital. But God forbid, you know, the supporters would listen to the fact that he had just left them. I won't say high and dry because the weather was terrible, but you wouldn't see Alan outside in any sort of weather like that. And then, of course, when he was Minister for the environment. He is responsible for the debacle that is Irish water. Um, this was only supposed to cost about 25 million max to set up. It literally cost 3 times that amount to have a company come in and price the water per litre. This is how much this little project was hemorrhaging money. At one point, he was refusing to accept questions in the Dáil about his number crunching, which was awfully wrong. When I believe it was Pierce Doherty called him out on it, and one or two more. He in turn swore at one TD, telling him to fuck off, and blah blah blah, in the hopes he would be omitted from the Dáil, because that's what you do when you want to omit, when you want to get out of something. Start swearing at people. He wasn't, but he refused point blank to answer any questions. So he also had his failed coup on the leadership of the Labour Party. He was full sure he was going to get it. He was young, he was energetic, he was addicted to power because it suited him. Yeah. It wasn't to do with any policies, anything like that. It was just the power of it all. He has since jumped on the bandwagon to make Nina an autism-friendly town. In fact, for anyone willing to go to the forefront of that, it would be a brilliant idea. But what he needs to do is not make Nina an autism-friendly town. It's get Tipperary children diagnosed when they need to be. Within the first 3 months of it showing up, they need to be diagnosed. Some kids wait a decade. They have to do it privately or whatever. They're just child psychologists, speech therapists, and one or two more will not be hired in Tipperary for some bizarre reason. We are the worst country outside of the capital, bar Cork, which just goes to show how bad things are in Cork when they have to come to Tipperary to get their kids diagnosed and schooled. It's all well and good. We have ASD units opening up all over the county. That's brilliant. What we do not have are enough people on board to keep the diagnosis going. And autism is coming to the forefront now in Ireland in a big way. And as usual, we are a country who are not equipped to deal with the pressures of diagnosing a problem. We can't even get women who we can't even get the cervical check stuff done right. The work in breast cancer, the exact same. The problems with the blood back a decade or so ago. We can't do anything right in this country until something severely fucking wrong starts happening, and that's just the way it is. So I would personally hope Nina becomes an autism friendly town. It doesn't matter who's at the forefront, who's at the helm, or who's pushing it. I would like to see it done, be it Alan Kelly, be it anyone else. But people, I would just like to say, next time you're voting, remember what politicians are doing what, especially in Tipperary. We are a laughing stock of the electorate in Tipperary, a laughing stock. When we keep sending Michael Lowry, Matty McGrath and Alan Kelly to the Dáil, and the other 2 seats are a pick and mix. When we keep sending those people to the Dáil, those 3, with the stupidity of Michael Lowry and what he does, especially whatever, and even Alan Kelly, whatever about that, Alan Kelly's seat will always be safe, even though he scrapes through, because it'll probably be bought for him anyway, so it doesn't matter. But when you have the likes of Michael Lowry, who has a stronghold on Tipperary, who gets in first count every time, and you have Matty McGrath up his arse following him, the both of them as thick as thieves. that's when you know you're a laughing stock. With the stuff they come out with. I mean, this, it has to stop, but it won't. I mean, politically, we're fucked. Tipperary. Health wise, we're fucked. We've no mental health in this county, only a 9 month waiting list. There's no A&Es open past 8 o'clock. We're having major problems getting autistic kids diagnosed, and the shit just keeps hitting the fan with the county. But, you know, those are the breaks. Anyway, look, drop your comments, drop your insults, drop your debates. I'll get back to you with the ones I see fit to get back to. And I'll catch you again next time, guys. Over and out. Thanks.